tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's Week 1 of the NFL Preseason on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Buffalo Bills. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time. But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Bills make their way out, led by their third-year quarterback from Wyoming. At 24 years of age, it's Josh Allen.
I think the development of Josh Allen as a starting quarterback in Buffalo has been rapid. We knew he had a big arm coming out of college. People question his accuracy, his decision-making a little bit, but I think that continues to improve as well. And the biggest surprise, how well he's used his legs to give them an extra dimension in the running game. And give him credit, his completion percentage last season was up 6 points from the year before. He continues to improve.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here. The opening drive couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon. And some room to work. Past the 20. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
It's showtime, baby!
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They run here with Singletary. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown.
Stephen Hauschka to kick off for Buffalo.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Thomas just going to hold on to this one. It's a touchback. The reigning league MVP Lamar Jackson trotting onto the field and leading the way now in his 3rd season in the National Football League as this Baltimore offense gets set to go.
And to me, he's one of the 2 most difficult guys in the league to game plan for in the NFL, and I add Patrick Mahomes in that category. But just about every team we talk to getting ready for Lamar Jackson says the exact same thing. We've got to slow him down running the football, yet no one's been able to really do it consistently. Now, the most impressive thing about his game to me, how he's developed as both a passer and a leader. His team believes in him.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And his throw here's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Andre Roberts is deep for Buffalo. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll start with the option. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the rookie linebacker, Patrick Queen, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Hey, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Line of of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
And you know he wants to make the most of every carry because he competes with his quarterback. Lamar Jackson, 4 carries and yardage. But Mark Ingram, over 1,000 yards last season. And then the Ravens went out and drafted J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the 2nd round. So now the Ravens potentially have 2 guys to pair with Lamar Jackson in the run game. Wishbone formation, anyone?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Jackson to Boykin, 1st down, Baltimore. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Second and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they'll begin by running the option. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And now it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, a look there at the Ravens draft class for 2020. And I tell you, for a team picking late in the draft, they came up with a couple of gems in the first few rounds.
They absolutely did, because when you're picking that late, you're not expected to get some of the best quality players in the draft, but they did. Patrick Queen at 28, maybe the top linebacker. And then for some people, J.K. Dobbins at 55 as a running back. A lot of people had him number 1 on their boards.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Allen. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. DeAnthony Thomas will return it for Baltimore. Taking it about the 36. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The MVP, Lamar Jackson, heading out again with his Ravens. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. He'll give this one to Ingram to start things out. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Jackson from the shotgun. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
You know, when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Jackson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
In most goal line situations, defensive tackles are just trying to hold the line, hold their ground, and let the other guys roam and make the play. But in this situation, he's able to push his way into the backfield and disrupt that play for a loss.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The Bills getting set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
It's brought in complete. It's John Brown.
A gain of 26 yards. And the Bills first down.
What is this?
7-7, our score after one.
Score tied 7-7.
Here's Zach Moss, Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year a season ago. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He's taken down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. First toss of the game here for the backup Barkley. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. He's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead.
Ravens 7.
So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it.
25-yard line.
And the Ravens taking the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. The tackle is made by Micah Hyde. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A first throw for the backup Griffin. Open man is the tight end Nick Boyle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Now the third-year man out of Rutgers, it's Gus Edwards. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Edwards. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 42.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Now look out, Griffin hit and he lost the football. It's loose. And the Bills have recovered.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Robert Foster and the rest of the offense about set to go here. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here, because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his to absolute devastating effect.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Aaron Jones. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
He's tackled at the 20.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's a four-receiver look now. Three of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. From the gun, Barkley. Roberts with it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16.
13 yards.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run with Moss. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Barkley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as he's out of bounds at the 2. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. They'll run. It's the fullback DeMarco. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bills will extend their lead. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Here's Hauschka for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Stephen Hauschka, the kickoff for Buffalo.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is RG3. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9. Griffin, and that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And he's got his target. That's more. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
One of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, right at the 40. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. As a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Griffin, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
A 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
Ravens 10.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Robert Foster and the rest of the offense about set to go here. 2nd quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just a single catch. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Barkley. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Good job, good job.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they'll get him down right around the 16. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 2nd and 8 coming up. Griffin. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Barkley. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it. A chance for us to look now at the Bills' defense. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They set up the screen for Dobbins. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the shotgun, Griffin. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
First down, Griffin. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Throw Throwing again, Griffin. He's going to find his receiver, Chris Moore. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brings up second and 1 at the 4-yard line.
To throw again is Griffin. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Griffin will throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jaleel Scott there to make the grab. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker now for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's like 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again, Barkley. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It'll be a net of 39. 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Tremaine Edmonds, the Bills' leading tackler in 2019, in on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing on second down. Griffin setting up the screen here to Edwards. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
From the gun on third down, Griffin. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Down. It's Edwards. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Griffin. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 43. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. Here's Edwards. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And that'll be incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
On third down, Griffin. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. They'll run a draw now with Moss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
To dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Operating from the gun, Barkley. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Never make the mistake of the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up 1st downs.
Keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the 44, Barkley. Throw left side complete. It's McKenzie. 20! And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
A 28-yard gain.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. T.J. Yeldon. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Barkley. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Andre Roberts there to make the grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown.
Don't make me come down there.
Stephen Hauschka to kick off for Buffalo.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a run with Edwards. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Trying to run it in, DeMarco. And the Bills are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
2nd and goal from the 1. Operating from the gun, Barkley, and that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tyler Kroft there to make the grab. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now Hauschka to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Stephen Hauschka to kick off for Buffalo.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it. Robert Griffin III now gears up to lead this offense again. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
From the 27, Griffin. Out right, this is Boyle, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now it's Edwards. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the gun, it's Griffin. Open man is Duvernay. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Now a carry for Dobbins. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
Bills 34, Ravens 20.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
25-yard line.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss right to Yeldon. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. 39 yards there, a big one. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. They'll run on first down with Moss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. From the gun, Barkley. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Kroft ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bills will add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Hauschka now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown.
What are you doing? You can do better than this.
Stephen Hauschka to kick off for Buffalo.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And certainly this, not the performance that they were hoping for to begin the exhibition season, but still plenty to watch for in this fourth quarter. RG3 going to bring the Ravens up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Out of the gun, Griffin. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. Operating from the gun, Griffin looking for the out route, and he's got more. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
So far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive already. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Got an open man, it's Scott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Once again, Griffin. And this is caught at the 8. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it will be 2nd down.
This is a tough situation offensively because down 3 scores, the field goal kicker's not even going to come into play here. As an offensive play caller, though, you know you have to take chances. This is a time to get creative.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Griffin toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start with the option. Over the middle, complete. That's McKenzie. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Operating from the gun, Barkley. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Off the play fake. Barkley. Got an open man. It's Foster. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. They'll run on first down. Moss. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Barkley. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. RG3 going to bring the Ravens up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. After the interception, here's Griffin. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Griffin. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Griffin. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now Griffin on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46. Throwing again, Griffin. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
At the 33-yard line.
From the gun, Griffin, quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. On third down, here's Dobbins. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. There he goes left side. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really, you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Why can't we score?
Stephen Hauschka to kick off for Buffalo.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And we will start at the 25 as Barner will not return it. And now here come the Ravens. The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with his 3-score deficit and time fading. RG3 going to bring the Ravens up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to the air, RG3 after the pick 6. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
At their 48-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Griffin. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Griffin. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
At the 31-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Griffin. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Chris Moore ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They'll try and run some clock with Yeldon. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run out of the gun with Moss. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.